live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's stream of
Killing it.
HumbleRoads, a Humblewoods D&D 5th edition stream with us. We are all here, and we are all going to play Dungeons & Dragons.
Dungeons.
I always go to say D&D, but then I want to say Dungeons, so I go Dungeons. You know, living that dungeon life. Pua, I know you love giving updates of what happened the week before. I know it's your favorite, and I do not want to take it away from you, so...
I'm nearly there. Like, we're talking in-drive double-clicking.
Oh, you're working on pulling it up.
I'm scrolling. Do you really enjoy this play-by-play? I'm sure it has you riveted.
I'm at the edge of my seat.
Oh, I didn't write a lot last week. I wrote we go check it out. That's my first note. I assume we beat the bandits. The Perch Guard asks for our help fighting the bandits that are entering the Alderheart. We fight them. The Perch Guard asks for our help pressing the attack on their camp. We go to the bandit encampment to fight them there after we fight them at the Alderheart and defeat them. And we finish the session by killing a disenfranchised orphan.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that did
We
happen.
got the hat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we got Rid's hat.
The whole purpose of killing the orphan.
Yeah. I think that's the whole purpose of this campaign so far.
Yeah.
Like, that was the climax. It is all downhill from now.
It was a brutal murder.
Like, cut him in half near enough.
No, I didn't. I cut the other Gerbine in half. I didn't cut the orphan in half.
I had that cute, like, anime style, like, running slashed the poor orphan in half, too.
Oh, maybe.
No?
Yeah, but I didn't kill the other one.
I killed the other one.
Gotcha. So only one of you is a child murderer.
Yeah, Rin axed the other one to death, so, you know. Neither of us are great.
Are we arguing over the levels of murder?
I'm just making sure in the recap we make sure the audience knows how terrible we all are.
Oh, okay. Murder hobos.
Yeah, that's the thematic recap.
Chloe, seriously? Sorry, stream. Everybody's going to see this. Good.
And I
so glad
believe
that she's there.
As we ended last time, the lot of you were kind of slow walking up to this encircled bandit camp, right? To try to ideally swiftly take out the leader of the encampment and thereby end the chaos of the current battle.
Yes.
Okay, let's move us over then.
Ooh, spoopy.
Wow.
To the bandit encampment. It looks... You can see some of the stuff, right? I think you can see, like,
logs.
some guys up here.
Look at all those mop.
Yeah, I see 5 Mawpox.
Okay. All right, good.
Where are we?
You're coming up towards this X from the south down here.
Okay.
So, you are just entering in to this bandit encampment from the south. And that's it. That's where you are, my friends. I'm gonna start off right away, jump right into it with a big ol'. I need you all to roll initiative for me.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah, this is one of those we got a map battles, y'all. You don't mess with the we got a map battle.
Oh, that's right. We're fighting the big bad, but I have no
Aw.
spell slots. Oh, I think I have one.
Okay.
Why is my initiative always trash?
Oh, I'll trade you.
Oh.
I don't do well going first because then I don't get any of my bonuses.
Um, there is a text box that because you did something earlier in the campaign, I was supposed to skip, but I'm gonna not skip it. Okay, I'm gonna read it and I'm gonna ad lib it just a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as you approach the largest tent, you see a kind of familiar looking figure, right? Exit. And that's going to be from this tent right over here. Along with a retainer and a wolf.
What's a retainer?
She's like, yeah, they have this thing on their teeth to help keep it straight. And they also have another buddy. That's their buddy. And once I remember how to put that onto the layer, I can show you them because they're there too. So let me move them. Boop, so you can see it. Boop. There's one more boop. So this.
No, but like, what is actually a retainer?
Oh, like not like a squire really, but part of your retinue, right? Like, yeah, like.
Okay.
Like a lackey.
Like a lackey.
I appreciated your orthodontra joke, but I really needed an answer.
Well, now this individual actually has a retainer in their mouth too.
Oh, okay.
And she greets you with a sneer. You! That's my best retainer voice I got, sorry. The tall, graceful Vulpin leader of this bandit camp looks slightly familiar from one you've seen before. I know the lot of you. You are the ones that killed my sister, Frey Meridian. I am the leader here. I am Gray Meridian. It's time I finished you once and for all. And Gray draws her sword with a flourish, pointing it at you and your companions. You shall have the honor of witnessing my deadly grace before you die. That's not what people sound like when they have a retainer in, but that's what this character sounds like now.
It sounds like a guy selling you pizza in New York City.
Hey.
I got a little bit of Russian accent in there.
I don't
I'm
know.
Eastern European.
I
think he's mixing like 12 things.
To make
It's
something
the retainer. It
to
really,
make something brand new is
Retainer
what it
just
is.
makes you have a list. That's all.
Not anymore. Not in this fantasy world, let me tell you.
Can I ask a meta question?
Sure.
So this was going to be the Vulpin that we killed if you were following the text box.
So if you didn't kill her, this is where Frey Meridian, the one that you saved Eliza from.
Yes.
That you have her sword.
Okay.
So we don't recognize this one from anything other than she looks like.
She looks similar.
Okay.
And then she seems to recognize you as the ones that killed her sister.
How'd she know?
I don't know, guys. I wanted to read that text box,
We
so
killed
she
everybody.
knew.
I say
Yeah.
literally the whole party was dead.
There was one guy who was sneaking really good because he was pissing in the bushes and got away. And that's the retainer, not the in the mouth. That's the other retainer. So if you kill this guy, then you will have officially killed all of the guys that are there. Okay, so Q has a 19. But Gray Meridian has a 21. So Gray goes first. Oh, I don't have little tokens for you all on this map.
Kayla said that.
Oh. I'm going to not use the map too much because I don't want to find and like put on tokens. I mean, I know the tokens are fun. I forgot that I have to put them on each individual map.
That's okay. We can use our imagination.
Yeah, we'll do this theater of the mind. You know, because when I paint a mini, I don't have to repaint a mini every single time I pull it out. It's just there. But now we're on a computer. Okay. So Frey Gray Meridian runs out of the tent at you all. I don't know how to move these things. Okay, it's not happening, guys. That's just what we got. This is a general layout, FYI. Runs out at the lot of you and pulls out a short bow because she doesn't want to run all the way at you. Because even though she pulled out her sword in a flourish, she then puts it away to pull out her short bow and takes 2 shots at Q. Give me a D4 roll.
4.
At Benson, the tallest among you.
Yes.
Standing out there, is going to take 2 shots from the short bow, both at you.
Okay.
What is it? +4 to hit. An 11, the first one. Benson, the avid fighter, is already ready for it. Jumps to the side. The second shot, you actually hear a twang as the string breaks from it. And Gray Meridian, after talking about how graceful she is, throws down her short bow that is now broken.
Nice.
Right.
And no longer has a bow. It's broke. And now she's pissed. But she's going to stay right the fuck where she is. And right after that, Q is up.
So she's right outside of the tent?
Right outside of the tent, yes.
Between the tent and the fire on the map, kind of?
Yes, I'm very good at using this software, guys, and making things look pretty. Yes, she's right outside of the tent.
Okay. I'm going to pull out my short bow and try to show her up a little bit.
Yeah, roll to attack.
Am I in the way of everybody else? Can I, like, kind of... I'm going to go, like, right in and kind of to the side. So I'm not blocking everybody else.
You, like, come over this way,
like,
get out of the way of the...
Oh, I can't make it bling on the map, but yeah. Like, right inside and then to the left a little bit.
Yeah, so here-ish. Kind of, like, behind this tent.
I don't see where you're clicking, but yeah.
Oh, you don't see, like, the little bloop?
No.
I don't know why it's not doing it, but... Okay, I get the general gist of where you're going.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Rolling my bow. 22.
Oh, I think I'm on the wrong layer. That's why. Let's try again. Like here?
Yes.
All right. Man, I'm learning as we go. 22 is definitely going to hit as Gray throws down her short bow. Yours flies, makes contact. Roll for damage.
Pew, 2.
Both of those piercing damages are felt keenly, more in Gray's psyche that she's pissed off now. Okay, anything else you would like to do?
Nope.
Okay, so that ends Q's turn. Benson, I believe you are up next.
Yeah, so roughly how far is she from us?
About 30 feet or so.
Okay, awesome. And I know, so she ran out to the front of the tent. Has anyone else with her?
You know that she has this other individual and a wolf with her. They haven't had a turn yet, so they're still kind of just inside the tent.
Gotcha. The reason I ask is I was going to cast Entangle, but if I'm not going to catch them in it too, then it's not worth doing.
I mean, they're just inside, so they're all within, because that's a 20-foot radius.
Yes.
Yeah, if you were to, like, cast it here, they would all be within that. Because they were just on, they're walking out of the tent. They just haven't quite made it out yet, so.
We're casting it, so we'll
yeah, go for it.
In the chat, just as it's easy to see. But yeah, we'll cast it right in that area.
Okay, so they're making saves, right?
Yep, they have to make a strength saving throw.
Okay, so this is where I'm going to go ahead and instead of trying to flip to like the 5 different pages for this fight, I'm going to remember that I bought the fun little cards with pictures on them because it's probably going to be a million times easier for me to have like 5 cards in front of me rather than try to flip to like 5 different pages. thank you, the Deck of Many, for making these thingy-mabobs. Okay, so Frey is first. Frey is a Vulpin captain. I think I kept these in alphabetical order. Because who doesn't do that? Okay. And then I'm not going to have a card for the wolf. That is going to be in the player's handbook. And the retainer is... the retainer we have a little bit of information on. It's a rough-looking Gerbine thief. This thief has a scrap of cloth covering one of her eyes and one ear that looks like it's been cut off with a knife.
Yeah.
Ooh, gross.
Yeah.
Didn't Rin do that to the last Gerbine we ran into? Hack off an ear. I think she hacked off an ear before we killed it.
I don't know. You guys are fucking gnarly with these guys. Okay.
Yeah, we're super mean and like I don't know, speciesist against Gerbine. We're like super mean to them.
So I'm rolling a dexterity save, correct?
Strength.
So this is for Gray. That's a 16. This is for the thief. That's only a 4. And this is for the wolf, and I don't know what the modifier is off the top of my head. I gotta look for it, but it's not gonna be plus enough to beat a 7. Pua,
Yes.
Can you move your microphone slightly away from your mouth? Thank you.
It's not very close to my mouth. Now I feel like it's really far away.
I hear you just fine where it is, and I heard all of your breathy breaths before, so this is great. Okay, so that means they are both Gray Meridian is able to jump outside of it, but both the wolf and the thief are tangled within these vines as they come up, wrap around their legs, and hold them in place.
Excellent.
Anything else you would like to do,
No,
Benson?
we're going to grab the shield just in case we get shot at again by someone else. I'd like to have that little bit of extra protection, and we're going to cower mostly.
Okay, cowering away. Up next is Rin.
What up? I'm gonna take out my whip.
Okay.
I'm gonna whip her.
Okay, so you are running up to where Gray is to whip her?
Yeah.
Whip it good.
Yeah, I'm gonna whip it good.
Okay. As you run forward by this here bush, with your whip out, let me go ahead and a Gerbine thief that had been hiding in that bush is going to slash at you and take an attack of opportunity as you move past it.
This is why I hate Gerbines.
Oh, am I not typing? I don't know what that means. Oh, I put equals 4. Yep, let's try again. How about a 21 to hit? Miss Rin. Alright, this dagger flashes out from the bush, something you hadn't even seen before, and it hits you for 3 points of damage.
Wow.
So now that is only about like some of your movement, right? 5 or 10 feet. So at this point, you can continue on towards Frey if you want, but now you also see this enemy over here.
Well, if Ty Gerbine's gonna come at me, I'm definitely gonna whip it.
Okay, yeah. So changing tactics, you turn around and whip at this Gerbine. Okay, that is only a 10. It jumps back into the bushes as your whip gets tangled up in it, and you have to pull a few times to get it out of the bush. You hear the cackling of this particular gerbine inside the bush.
True. I'm gonna murder him.
Okay, does that end your turn?
Yep. Yeah, I've done it before. I'll do it again.
Okay. Rin is done. Now it is the bad guy's turn. So that guy is going to immediately stab at you again, since you are right in front of him.
Wait, what bad guy?
The gerbine.
The gerbine that's in that bush.
Oh.
The bush bean.
Wait, when's my turn?
After the bad guys, because you rolled really bad initiative. That is a 16 to hit.
15.
Yes, it hit.
Okay. That is 4 points of damage.
None of them.
And then the second attack is a 22 to hit.
Yep.
And that is an additional 4 points of damage, total 8 points of damage. As this gerbine now jumps out of the bush and is just stabbing at you. You weren't ready for this. Your whole whip fighting style is to stay at a distance, and he's just closed in there and is getting you nick after nick. As you're able to jump away so it doesn't get any vital organs, but it is not looking too good at the moment. With that, this guy kind of steps over from the top of this structure. This is the archer that had been shooting at you when you were outside of the encampment. It looks down and... Benson, roll just a D3 for me. That's a 2. Pua, he is going to it is going to shoot at you.
Cool.
Oh, what are they? They are Mopok bandits. Sorry, I am looking for this thing again, but once I find it, it will just be out. Oh, never mind, because my Mopok bandit is not in alphabetical order where it's supposed to be. So...
It'll be pretty terrible.
Oh.
Like a negative modifier.
Okay. The Mopok bandit gets a do.
No attack.
Plus 3 to hit.
No, he gives everyone a cupcake.
That's a 22 to hit, Pua.
Yeah.
Well, I will
Whoa.
say,
Going poorly.
Good thing this
Who
Bolton
loaded the
has
game
other...
tonight?
alright, that is going to be d6 plus 1. 2 points of piercing damage to Pua.
Okay.
As this new enemy also makes itself known. The wolf is going to try to break free of the vines, but only rolls a 3. The retainer dude rolls a 13. What is the DC to break out of that? Because that's a +1. That's a 14.
Ain't gonna make it 15.
15. All right, yeah, they are both still...
Thank goodness.
Yeah, they are both still in there. You guys, this guy over here, who is like with an arrow out, shooting out into the battle, is not going to come to fight the lot of you because he does seem to be doing just fine. Yeah, he's not super worried about you guys. So he is not going to fight, and that just leaves Gray Meridian, who does not want to get up close to you, but also doesn't have a crossbow, so she will. Gray is going to move her way up right behind Rin and take a short sword attack at Rin.
No, I'm gonna die.
That is only an 11 to hit.
Nope.
She'll take her second attack And that is a natural 1. Second natural 1 for the boss. My god. So she goes at you a couple times. You can go ahead and roll an attack of opportunity.
What is that?
That means you can use your reaction to attack her, pretty much. So you can roll to attack.
A normal.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, usually you can only do an attack of opportunity if they leave your melee range. But... Oh, and you got a natural 1 there. Okay, so definitely does not hit. As the two of you look very similar to 6-year-olds playing with sticks in the backyard.
Not at my best.
Waving them around, and just not doing terribly well in this moment. Okay. That is going to end the baddie's turn in pulling up the rear. Mr. Pua, sorry. You are up.
Mr. Pua. Am I within like my movement's distance of Gray?
Are you in? You can get into melee. In order to get in melee, with Gray though, there's this Gerbine thief in your way, and then there's Rin, and then there's Gray. So you'd have to pass that thief.
Can't I? I'm a small creature. Can I pass through their space?
You sure can, but you're going to take an attack of opportunity.
Fine.
Okay. You run past, rush past this thief, who is going to use its reaction to take a swipe at you. That's a 17 to hit.
Does hit. Barely, but it does.
And that's 6 points of piercing damage as you rush by.
This is worth it.
And he gets you with that.
So now I'm in melee with that bitch?
Yes, you are right in front, melee with Gray. You see Pua's quills spike up in intimidation as you...
I am going to cast Inflict Wounds.
All right. Roll to attack.
Oh, I will. Please let this have been worth it. No! Come on!
Wait, can you like bless yourself?
No,
can you do something?
Spell.
Yeah, that would have been an action, I believe. So unfortunately, an 11 is not going to do it, as Gray deftly jumps back, kind of regaining her composure.
My magic never works. Ever. Never.
Yeah, you purified that food once.
You didn't
what?
For that though.
You can purify food. That's
good.
You can take everyone's booze and make it not booze. All right, that is your movement. That is your action. Is there anything else you would like to do?
Can I punch her in the face, or does that count as another attack?
That would be an action.
Then I'm done.
Okay.
Put on her.
All right. At the end of Pua's turn, we are back to the top of the round, and Gray is up. Seeing Pua jump up and take this magical swipe, sees you as the greater threat with your magic, and is going to take a swipe at you with her sword.
I wasted my last thingy thing.
That is an 18 to hit.
Me? Yes, it does.
Yes, you miss Pua. Mr. Pua. I'm going to keep doing that. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Okay.
I don't really talk like a man. I don't do anything in my voice. I understand.
That is 8 points of piercing damage.
Oh.
After getting a pretty decent hit on you, Gray is also going to bite at you.
Oh, well, this could be where I die. See you later, all.
Could be. That's a dirty 20 to hit.
It does. And
8 more points of piercing damage. As Gray bites into the side of Pua, shakes her head, and Pua falls. Gray now, a bloodied sword, blood dripping from her mouth, as the Gerbine thief behind gives another cackle.
I don't like this.
Pua
I don't much care for it either.
Is down. That is Gray's turn. Q, you're up.
Pua. I don't have anything for you.
I don't have anything for myself, so.
Except revenge.
Yeah, well,
It's okay. If I die, I'll be okay.
I'm gonna shoot at that dumbass Gerbine. Actually, I lied. Can I dual wield daggers?
Absolutely.
Okay. Is it just double? Is one of them like not?
Your second attack, if you hit, you will not add your modifier to the damage.
Okay.
So like it would be a straight D4 roll.
Just...
You wouldn't add whatever modifier.
My dex. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 daggers at the Gerbine.
Okay, roll the first one. As you just run out from this Gerbine, the first one, I'm gonna say definitely hits. Yes, it definitely does.
And are they in melee?
They're in melee with you, and they're in melee with Rin, so you can do sneak attack damage.
Okay. I'm gonna
So regular damage and sneak attack.
Sneak attack. Where's my sneak attack? There, 1d6. Okay. So here's regular 5 plus 9 for the first one.
Okay, so that Gerbine takes 9 plus 4. 5 plus 4 equals 9 damage. This is Gerbine 2. 9 points of damage. All right, cool. Yeah, as you go and just stab right into this Gerbine side, pull it out. Your dagger now bloodied as the Gerbine wheels around to face you. You can go ahead and make your second attack.
Dagger. 17.
17 hits. Roll for damage.
Okay. Can I do sneak attack on this one too, or is it just
No, I think sneak attack is once per round.
Yeah, it is. Okay. So this is just 1d4.
Woo, look at that.
Okay. With that, you turn around and slash out with your other knife. It moves so quickly, you think it missed until you turn around and just see blood pouring down this Gerbine's throat as its body falls down next to Pua's. Okay, that is one Gerbine thief taken out. Anything else you would like to do? Q, that's, I think, movement, action, bonus action. I think you're kind of done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I have any extra movement that I could move closer to that tower with the Mopok on top so he can't, like, get me as easily?
Well, you went from there to only about there. So, yeah, I would say you're here at the base of this. And it's not terribly tall, right?
Yeah.
Probably about 8-10 feet in the air, just so that he can see over the fencing to shoot out into the field. Which is what he's doing now, actually. It's his back is to you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just kind of, like, press up against that.
Sure. Sounds good. Benson, you're up.
Yeah, so we're going to, we should be close enough to throw some fire, so that's what we're going to do.
Who are you throwing fire at?
We're going to throw it at the Vulcan.
All right.
In the face.
22 is certainly going to hit. Roll for damage on that fire to the face.
Burnt up broad.
Yes. Do it for Pua.
Okay. Yeah. So as this Gerbine falls, Gray turns around and looks and just is surprised by this fire that explodes as she is using her non-sword hand to kind of pat off these embers that are burning some of her fur. Nice. Anything else you would like to do?
Nope, we're going to stay right where we are. We're happy with that.
All right, Rin, you are up.
Am I still in melee with the Gerbine, or did the Gerbine die?
The Gerbine died. Yeah, Gerbine's super dead. Bleeding on the floor. Bleeding its blood all over Pua.
Oh, that makes me so mad. I don't like.
Can you absorb it and, like, into your amulet?
If I like scoop Pua like a little bit like away from the action, is that my action? Can that be my bonus action?
Say that again? What do you want?
I want to scoop Pua away from the dead body, and I don't want Pua to get squished.
As your bonus action. Sure. I mean, the Gerbine is smaller than Pua, but you can kind of like shuffle Pua, like kind of like use your foot shuffling and your weight to push Pua off to the side a bit, so he's not so directly in the spreading pool of Gerbine blood.
I also don't want Pua to get trampled by other people.
Yeah, I mean, to really move Pua, you would need to use your action to like grab and move. And drag Pua away, but that is your choice.
Shoot. Alright, I'm gonna use my action to try and pick up Pua.
Okay, yeah. It's not a try. You can definitely do it. So you can move at half your movement speed, dragging Pua. So you use your action, you grab Pua under the arms, lift him up. Some of the spikes digging into you, but you grit your teeth and pull Pua. In which direction?
I want to try and go into one of these white tents.
I'd say you could probably get in this way. I imagine that there's a flap to the back, so you actually drag Pua into this tent right here.
Okay.
I think we're not seeing your thingies.
Oh, I'm on the wrong thing again. Every time I have to switch out. Okay. Yeah, so you can pull Pua right into that tent.
Cool. Done.
Okay. That is Rin's turn. After Rin, it is the baddies. So again, that wolf is going to try to break out. That is only a 10. The other Gerbine thief is going to try to break out. That's a 17 plus whatever.
That makes it, yeah.
So finally, this Gerbine thief that's been over here just yells, "No!" You see, as a bonus action, that Gerbine is going to click its heels together. And you see a light form around the boots that it's wearing. And even though it's in the difficult terrain over here, doing that is going to give enough movement to run right up to Q and attack Q, because Q just took down her buddy.
Are they all orphans too?
They are now, because you just killed her dad. That is an 18 to hit.
Yeah.
That is 5 points of piercing damage. Does that take you down?
No.
All right, this one might.
Not yet.
That is going to be just a 13 to hit on that one.
No.
Yeah,
Whew.
as you take the first one, the second one wielded in a blind rage, but you are ready. You duck underneath it as you get ready, your 2 daggers in hand as well. Okay. That is that. Because she didn't hit you... Nope, she used all of her movement to get to you with... since she had to move through that difficult terrain. So, at the... Oh, this one up here, I'm going to roll a perception check because they were paying more attention to the outside of the battle. So I want to see if they even see what's going on. 12, and what's the perception of that? Like +1. I think they don't quite notice you yet. Not that they don't notice, but they're so... I mean, there's literally this huge battle going on outside, and they are still watching that. So that is going to end that turn. Pua, roll a death save.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, that is 1. As...
Of course, it's got to be 1 shy of being 2.
Right. Oh, if you're back up at 1 hit point if you get a nat 20.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just 2 successes.
Yeah, but I think right now Rin has you in that tent. She's trying to clear some of the blood off of you. off of your neck that has this awful bite wound, this foxy bite wound. And you are fighting for your life right now. With that, it is Gray's turn again. Q, you're the only one in melee right now. Because
Come on, Bowie.
Rin took off. And I think they're going after you.
Am I technically in melee though?
You
Gotta run
are,
up to me.
as Gray steps up into melee with you.
Oh,
Gets a 6 on that first one.
nope.
And then
Oh.
and then on the backslash comes back and hits you. That is 4 points of damage. Still up?
I'm still up, guys.
All right. Yeah, I mean
I
that
got 2 points left.
that is the turn. Right
Oh my
there.
God.
Well, you're at 2 hit points alone in here. Benson, your other companion, is visible, though he is, half cowering behind this little bit of wall over here.
Scary. Not good.
And you are up, Q. You are right now in melee with this Gerbine thief and Gray Meridian.
It's the Gerbine from the tent, right?
It's the Gerbine from the tent. This is the one with the
Okay. With the retainer.
Yes.
Okay.
I can't see or hear Shelly.
What was that?
Shelly's here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can see and hear everybody but her.
Oh.
Oh, we lost Kayla too.
That's weird.
They lost you, but everyone can see me?
I can see everyone.
Pua, I would maybe just restart the page and see if
Okay.
that fixes it.
BRB, y'all.
Okay, Q, you're up.
How far are we from the big battle?
Like outside of this?
Yeah.
It's not terrible. I mean, it's raging all around, right? There's all of these farmers with pitchforks. There are some perch guard. There's that one knight that is hanging around.
Yeah, how far away is the knight?
The knight is a bit far away, but there are some soldiers probably 40, 50 feet from you or so.
Could... what's my movement? Oh, my movement's only 30. If I shout, could they hear me?
You can certainly
If I
try.
15 feet closer and shout?
If you move 15 feet away, you will get an attack of opportunity from
shit,
both
that's
of
right.
them, unless you use your action to disengage.
Wait. But I have cunning action now, so I can use my bonus action to disengage.
You can use your bonus action to
Okay.
disengage.
I'm going to use cunning action.
Okay.
Can I run 15 feet towards the battle and shout that we need help?
Yeah, and I think that puts you about even with Benson. So you stand next to him and just yell, "We need help!" I want you to roll a persuasion check.
Oh no.
There is a lot going on, right? Everyone's fighting. There's the roar of the battle. I know I have like calming night sign forest sounds on right now, but imagine there's a lot of more clanging and yelling and gasping for their last breath going on. But I will say, because yelling is not an action, you still have your action. You still have about 15 feet of movement and your action if you would like to take either or both of those.
I'm gonna turn around and shoot my short bow at the Vulpin.
Okay, yeah, go for it. Already taken some damage, but not looking terribly rough right now.
And not in melee with anyone, right?
And not in melee with any of your allies, no.
Okay. 24.
But that is definitely going to hit, so you can roll for damage on that.
3.
Okay. Yeah, again, Nick's Gray to the side, looks back at you and scowls, Pua's blood still dripping from her maw. You're standing there next to Benson, who is... I just imagine this tall stork-like bird, just with shaky, knobby knees most of the time. And your other two companions have disappeared, nothing but a trail of blood leading into the nearby tent. And with that, you are up, Benson.
Yeah. So Q is pretty close to us, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna look at Q and say, well, you look pretty terrible, and we're going to use a bonus action to cast Healing Word.
Okay. All right.
Level 1 spell.
Yeah, as you are feeling and reinvigorated a bit, healing for 7. That's a nice healing word right there.
Thank you, Benson.
And since that's a bonus action, we're going to use our regular action to, as everyone probably guessed, we're going to throw some fire at that Vulpin.
Do it. 12 is not going to hit, however. Yeah, Gray does step back away.
Figured that trick out, I guess.
Yeah. And yells, "It's not gonna work this..." I'm sorry, what was the... "It's not gonna work this time." It was something
That's
like
much
that.
better.
Okay, oh good, I did it. I don't know why I'm pursing my lips like I'm trying to do a Daffy Duck, but it's working.
Do you ever have a retainer?
Oh yes. You don't get teeth this beautiful without just a little bit of dental work going on, darling.
It's just a little...
I only wore mine at night, so I never had to talk with my retainer in.
It's pretty
maybe I did
terrible
that, too.
and embarrassing to have to talk with the retainer.
Oh,
in.
you're good at that. You're gonna DM the next game. Okay, Benson, does that end your turn?
That sounds wonderful, because Pua's gonna be dead.
Rin, you are up, a still bleeding Pua, unconscious in your arms.
Okay, I have some questions.
Yes.
A single dead tier.
Question number 1. If I
Oh, there
want
you
to investigate what's in this tent looking for useful items, is that my action?
That would definitely be your action, yes.
Alright. Is Pua the only one that can make that tree thing burst out of a necklace?
No.
As long as you know the word.
Yeah, it's not...
Question number 3. How sturdy is this tent that I'm in?
It's not clean.
No, sturdy.
Sturdy.
Oh.
Sturdy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I take this.
Please.
I take answer 2 back. Yes, Pua right now is the only one that can make the tree come out of the nest charm. The nest
Why?
charm requires attunement.
It does?
It
did it
does.
before.
Yeah, it says it right on the card. Wondrous item, uncommon, requires attunement.
Oh, you didn't make me attuned to it to begin with, but
No.
it's alright.
Yeah, which just so keep in mind that
No,
that's one of the
that's
3
not.
attuned items you can have. How sturdy is this tent? I mean, not very. I mean, it's it got some stakes in the ground. It's not about to fall over or anything. But if someone was trying to make it fall over, it's not anything too sturdy.
Oh my god. What's the name of the movie where they pretend to use the dead body? Is that Weekend at Bernie's?
Yeah.
You should definitely Weekend at Bernie's this with the charm.
Weekend at
Rubber
Benson's.
little paws.
Do you remember the word?
Tree.
Let me put it this way: if you want to do that, since you are Pua's ally, Pua is there. If you're like grabbing Pua's mouth and going tree, and like really, really trying, I will let you attempt that because I think that's cool.
All
Tree
right.
was the word, right?
Treehouse was the word.
Yeah. Treehouse is the word. All right. I'm going to try it because I really just want to get Pooh to safety. I want to bust through the top of this tent, and I want that mop hawk that's on the top to tumble off.
I hope that you do it because this is fabulous flavor.
Yeah. Roll an Arcana check.
Oh no, I don't even know.
I'm gonna say with the DC was definitely a little higher than a 10. It wasn't crazy high, but definitely was more than a 10. Yeah, you're sitting there with your hand on Pua's mouth, like trying to move it, like tree house, and it isn't happening. Pua is unconscious, and you are not attuned to this charm.
Oh, that was the coolest idea ever, though.
That
I
was
really liked it.
All right. Those are all my actions.
okay. All right. Although technically, I think it wasn't. I think that was just your bonus action.
Oh. Can I use my action since that didn't work to now investigate the tent for like healing potions, flammable things?
Sure. Roll an investigation check. If you get a nat 20, it'll be a healing potion. If not, we'll figure out what you find. A 5. Okay.
Nothing. I found dirt.
This is the worst battle ever.
Hurts people.
You find dirt that hurts people.
We're gonna die. All of us.
I think you guys need to run away, but I'm unconscious, so.
As you are looking around, I will say you do find
garbage.
a ring. A beautiful ring, right? And it's kind of like thrown in with a bunch of other stuff that is obviously pilfered. It is a bronze ring, but it is studded with rubies. As you look at it and are like, ooh, shiny. Like, this thing is probably worth a whole lot. And you can grab it and hold on to it, but it will probably not help you out in the immediate moment.
Cool.
You got a ruby ring.
I want my best friend not to die.
Okay. So that's going to end Rin's turn. It is now the baddie's turn. That Gerbine... that Gerbine is going to run at the two of you. Benson, roll a d4. Even, they're going to attack you. Odd, they're going to attack Q. This Gerbine is pretty PO'd, so... even, that's a Benson attack. So, runs right at Benson, just can't help but go after this terribly tall gentleman. That's a 16 to hit.
He'll just get me, yep.
Okay, you take 5 points of slashing damage. As this Gerbine runs extremely quickly at you, like moving at unbelievable top speed, takes a swipe, kind of half circles around you, takes another. That's going to be a 12 to hit.
That's going to miss.
Misses it. And then will run off, like back in the direction over here of, like between these two bushes. As this Gerbine rushes off, because you guys are right next to each other, it kind of ran past you. You can both take attacks of opportunity if you would like. Those attacks of opportunity will be at disadvantage.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Q, you're higher on the initiative order if you want to go first.
All right. I'm going to swing my short sword at it.
Okay. Yeah.
16.
No, it is at disadvantage. That is a
Oh,
10.
shit, 10.
This Gerbine is moving almost impossibly quickly, still with that glow to her boots that she had before. So you miss your opportunity attack. Benson, you can try, though.
So with one-handed swings, I've got my shield out.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
But that is a 19. So you get a great swing, and you manage to make contact. Roll for damage on that quarterstaff.
Get it.
2. Okay.
Oh.
That is the only damage this Gerbine's taken so far. As you do, you hit it in the back of the leg and manage to trip them up just a little bit as they continue running ahead. All right, that is all the baddies. Oh, let's see if the wolf is out of this.
Oh. No, we can't forget the wolf.
Stupid wolf.
That is a natural 1. This wolf actually falls over at this point and is not just like its feet held, but the vines are over and it's like just trying to get out, still stuck in the doorway of that tent.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah,
So wait, is the wolf like a wolf?
it's a wolf.
It's not an anthropomorphized critter?
No, it is a wolf-ass wolf.
The size of a wolf?
It is a wolf. I think you guys are the size of like people. So this wolf is the size of a wolf compared to you being the size of people. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's a big ass raccoon.
So it's a wolf that's smaller than a gerbine.
I don't know. A wolf actually might be I think a wolf is a medium-sized creature, if I'm remembering correctly, which would make it bigger than a gerbine, more like the size of, one of you guys, but on all fours. And
so the wolf can't talk.
no, it is just
it's like
a wolf.
Goofy and Pluto.
Yes.
So fucking weird.
There are animals in this world, you all.
We're all people-sized? I figured we were all tiny critter-sized.
No.
That's a really big fucking tree if there's a whole city
I think that's
of it.
the idea. I mean, you see the art, right? Like, it's a big-ass tree. No.
I still thought that we were teeny tiny. Like, animal-sized creatures.
No, because you're a wolf is a medium-sized creature. And, like, Pua, you are also a medium-sized creature.
No, I'm not. I'm small.
Well, then the other motherfuckers are medium-sized creatures. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm the size of, like, a halfling.
Yes.
Oh,
A halfling or a gnome.
Sorry, I'm sorry to go off on this tangent. I was just so confused that it was like a wolf.
Yeah, it is. This is like an avatar when they're like a bear. You mean like a platypus bear? Like
just a regular bear.
Just a regular bear. This place is weird.
Don't mind me.
Okay. So that is this wolf ain't doing shit. Pua, do another death save.
Oh.
Second success. All right. Pua's heart continues to beat. Ba-boom, ba-boom.
I'm probably sure all of my tugging on his face really helped.
Q, Gray is mad.
Oh.
And Gray almost had you, and you just got away. So she is walking up, saliva running down her chin, along with the blood, because her retainer makes her drool a little bit. And
got rabies.
She is going to, with her sword, her short sword, stab at you for a 10.
Nope.
You parry it with one of your daggers as she again brings her sword down. It says rolling the dice. Oh, that's a 19.
Oh, yeah.
The anticipation. Okay. That is going to be 4 more points of piercing damage.
I would just like to take a moment to point out that you never put the emphasis on the right syllable of that.
Anticipation. Okay.
You still are doing it wrong.
Q, you are now up with Gray in your face, stabbing at you with her short sword, trying to keep a distance so your daggers can't quite get in.
Okay. A short sword is light. Correct? I have an L next to it, which I think means that it's light, so I can dual wield it.
Yes. Yeah, I believe you can dual wield with a short sword and a dagger.
Okay. I'm gonna do that. Can I pull out the short sword from Frey?
You do. As you do, Gray looks at you and says, "You've taken my sister's sword. I will get that back from your cold, dead hands."
So good.
You're too throaty. It's more.
Don't. Maybe it's a real serious retainer. It goes all the way down.
She's got a long snout. It needs to like.
Yeah, that's true. Canine teeth is probably a weird ass retainer.
You guys
She's
suck.
wearing headgear.
Okay,
If Fox wearing headgear, I'm gonna freak out.
Ew. Okay, I'm gonna slash at her with the special short sword.
Okay. I'm going to give you advantage on this attack, just because I think she's, like, thrown that you are using her sister, just for the first attack, just for the element of surprise of using her fucking sword against her.
19. 19
is going to hit. Roll for damage. Benson, you are also right there, because, like, Frey stepped up between you, so you are going to all, because you guys are pretty much shoulder to shoulder at this point.
Yeah.
You are going to get sneak attack on that as well.
Okay. 5.
5
plus.
All right.
4. 9 total.
9. Okay. Okay. I think with that, as you stab out with the short sword, you get Frey real good, straight through the shoulder, so much so that as you pull back your sword, it takes a second tug because you hit bone, right? Like, you really got it. And she, cries out in pain as blood just starts to ooze from this wound. Still up, but definitely not looking as good as she was. Definitely looking rough at this point. Would you like to use your bonus action?
Yes, I want to dagger her.
Dagger away.
Wet.
An 8 is not going to do it, though. At this,
Damn it.
she jumps back, uses her short sword to parry your dagger away, regains that little bit of distance between you and her, as she just is growling at you at this point. Does that end your turn?
It's a bonus action for my dagger, right?
Yes.
The second. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. Benson, you are right there, watching this happen, as you're kind of heartened a bit by this great attack that Q just got on the enemy leader. What will you do?
Yeah, we're going to cast Poison Spray, our cantrip.
All right. What's the range on Poison Spray?
10 feet.
10 feet. I'm going to say if you want, yeah, you can angle it so you also get that Gerbine Thief into it.
Oh, I can do that?
Yeah, because the Gerbine Thief didn't run very far away, just wanted to get just outside of your melee range, so that Frey could jump in. So you can get both of them. They will both make Constitution saves.
Yeah, we're thinking them both up then.
This is for Gray.
I'd like to
That is a natural 1. Not going to do it. And it's a straight D20 roll that's only a 13 for the thief. So both of them start to cough and sputter. It's 4 points of poison damage.
It is.
Okay. That's going to be... yeah, okay. They're both kind of like coughing, trying to back up a little bit. That is your action. Anything else you would like to do?
No, that's our action. I think we're going to stay where we are.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to stay where we are.
Back in the tent, Rin, you are up. Pua is still unconscious. You found this ring that is obviously probably the most expensive thing you've ever held in your entire life. However, you have not found anything that is necessarily going to help you in this instance.
All right, I'm going to put the ring in my pocket, obviously.
Okay.
Can I do a medicine check, or will that be my action?
A medicine check would be your action.
Ooh, I'm conflicted. If I run back outside, will I be like back in the fray right away?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you go and you pop your head out of the tent, you can pretty clearly see everything that's happening. A bloodied Frey as she's coughing, as Benson is holding his hands out and a spray of poison is shooting out. Also getting that Gerbine in the back, who is in the battle. Your friends looking not great as they're slightly bloodied themselves.
Alright, I'm going to run over to Pua, and I'm going to clutch his holy symbol and give it a little kiss and go, Fardia, you have to save Pua. And then I'm going to take out both my axes and run inside.
Okay. I'm going to do a couple things here. I want you to roll a religion check, because I think this, like, entreaty to the god is really cool at this moment. But I want you to battle first, because I may give you advantage or disadvantage based on how badass this attack turn is. So as you run out, 2 axes in your hand, who are you going after?
I'm going after Gray.
Okay, you run up to Gray, axe overhead, this bloodthirsty cry, roll to attack.
I'm gonna get a natural 1.
No, don't say that.
Don't say it.
All right, yeah, that's number 1.
Woo!
That hits. Roll for damage on that. Explain what this looks like.
Dead.
Yeah!
God. All right, so I'm pissed because Pua looks terrible. So I come running out, shrieking, and I like spin around and I slash down with one of my axes, and then I put my hands up to slash again, but I see the light leave Gray's eyes, and as she falls over, I bring my axe back down. She's dead.
All right, yeah, definitely.
Clutch.
Fucking awesome.
Takes out Gray right there. At that, Pua, well, let me see. We'll see on your turn when you get your next death save. I'm gonna say with that you're gonna have advantage on your death save.
What does that mean?
You roll twice and take the better one.
Oh.
Ardia!
Oh.
Yeah, Ardia is definitely listening to this badass's entreaty to her at this moment for her soldier. Okay.
Oh.
With that, this other Gerbine kind of looks at you still. Honestly, there, Rin, that is only your action. You still have your bonus action.
Well, since I didn't actually swing my other one, can I use my bonus action to try and cut the Gerbine?
Yeah, you definitely can. You run up to this Gerbine, take your second attack.
Go, Rin, go!
Where is my hand axe?
That is a 20, dirty 20. Roll for damage on that. As you bring your second axe around, 5 points of slashing damage. Explain what this looks like, man. This is some bloodthirsty shit.
Damn!
Yo!
Beat in half. Like diagonal, like this.
Right in, like Gallagher splitting a watermelon. You are covered in the blood and viscera of the battle, as this Gerbine's ears fall apart along with the rest of its head.
So gross. I love it.
With their leader nowhere in sight, the Olderhart's forces bearing down on them, any semblance of order amongst the bandits disintegrates. They begin to flee in every direction, taking what they can and abandoning the camp. A cry of victory rises from the assembled citizens. The day is won, but at a heavy cost. How heavy, we don't know yet. Pua, roll a death save. With advantage. Natural 20. With that, Pua gasps, coming back to light. You feel a warmth emanating from your holy symbol and warming flowing through your body as you return to life at this last second with 1 hit point.
Yo!
And with that, we are out of combat. Cool shit.
Thanks for praying.
That was
I'm like Buddy Christ.
You're welcome.
Should I stop doing finger guns? Nah, I think they're good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was awesome.
And tired. I'm tired.
The first thing I'm gonna say, I'm gonna roll over and feel and say, "Wow, we almost really did play Murder in the Tree."
Oh no.
Actually, I guess we did play Murder in the Tree because you killed a bunch of people. But
Yeah.
Brad would be proud.
Yeah.
What about the wolf? Did the wolf run away, or is he still in trap?
The wolf is totally trapped. The wolf has no fucking hope of getting out of these vines
can we make him our friend?
for as long as your what's it called? As long as your concentration lasts. How long does the concentration last on this spell, Benson?
I think it's a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, so you kind of walk over to where this wolf is just like whimpering and whining as it's trying to dig its way around, but you can still see these vines like tightening and pulling it into the ground.
I'm gonna let it. I'm gonna stop the vines. We're gonna let that go. We're feeling very confident. We spent time in the woods.
Sure. Okay. So the vines start to
Make him your familiar.
pull back into the ground away from this wolf, who slowly gets up, cowers right over in the corner of this tent, away from the lot of you and where you are, just whimpering, head down towards the ground.
Be its friend so we can ride it.
Yeah.
I'm going to, for the first time, use wild shape.
What's that mean?
I can turn into animals.
What? How are we just finding this out?
Well,
It's kind of weird because you already are an animal.
Yeah.
well, it just never felt like it was the right time for this character. Actually, the showdown with this wolf. We were gonna wolf it out, but we can hug it out instead.
Yeah, explain what this looks like as for the first time. And is this like for the first time in his life or just the first time in this company?
This first time in this company.
Okay.
We'll get there. So yeah, so Benson is going to he's not very good at it, so it's a little herky jerky. He's kind of like, he has to get in the position first and really feel kind of the movement. And then as things fall off of him, he hasn't figured out how the better druids, like his grandmother, keep all of their stuff with them. His shit just kind of falls on the ground, clatters about, scares the wolf a little bit more as the quarterstaff like falls towards it. But there is now, instead of a weird lanky bird, a pretty handsome wolf, much better looking. And we're gonna kind of slowly approach that wolf. We'll do a little bit of those dog-like kind of head movements and sniffing and
Sniff his butt.
yeah, a little bit. It's what you do. It's just part of it, and we're gonna bro it out a bit.
Roll for me, Benson. Roll an animal handling with advantage.
All right.
Because you're handling one of your own at this point.
Animal handling.
All right.
Okay, there we go.
So with this wolf kind of cowered, but seeing you kind of do the butt sniffing befriending of the wolf, at this point this wolf watched you fucking murder its last master and then transform into a fucking wolf. So you're the alpha man. There ain't no question about that. And with this, the wolf kind of like head down to the ground, kind of whimpers a little bit, kind of lays on its back and shows you its belly and lets you smell it a little bit. It is rather docile at this point. Is not bloodthirsty because it didn't even get into the fight. It just kind of got stuck instead. And is just kind of like on its back in complete submission, showing you its tummy tums.
Yeah, we're gonna try to, using kind of just the innate kind of understanding that animals have. There's a pretty sweet pack of wolves back where we're from. A couple Fridays out of the month, I like to go hang out with them, run around for a bit. I'm gonna tell them, like, go hang out with those guys. Like, get out of this life. This isn't a good spot. There's bandits everywhere. They want to make you their weird pet. Go see these wolves. They'll take care of you.
Do you have speak with animals?
I'm fairly certain I do. I'll double check that, but I thought I did.
You definitely have speak with a tree.
What would it be like if he didn't? He's just like a wolf talking like a
He'd be
human.
thinking he was saying, I think he's going, "Arr, arr," and the wolf's like, you're just making noises. That's not what communication is for an animal.
Like whenever I talk to the cats.
Yeah, pretty close to that.
Are you gonna slow blink at them?
Reading very fast on his head.
Oh, maybe I don't. I thought I could have sworn I did, but you know what? I think you're right. I was thinking of the plant one.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought you took speak with plants instead. So yeah. I don't think you're able. I think you could communicate pretty simple ideas to this animal in your wolf form. But I do not think you can be like, I know this other pack of wolves, tell them Benson sent you. Like, I don't think you can quite convey that sort of complexity.
We just want to tell him, like, just get out of here. Don't be by people. Just get.
Just
Yeah.
get.
Yeah,
Just
we're
get.
Are you the white fang? You're white fanging him.
no masters.
Or Airbud, when he's like, get out of here, Airbud!
That is the true American masterpiece right there.
Go on. Get.
And I don't know who made Air Bud, but probably not as awful as Jack London was. All right, so yeah, the wolf kind of like head to the ground, like slinks out around you, and once it gets out around, just takes off running. Like starts climbing through these bushes over here and makes its way far away from this encampment. As you are all left there now, the soldiers coming in, the farmers that were fighting, coming, helping bandage up friends that were killed, other companions, taking some of the bandits as hostages at this point, but others you can see, like, people that are just pissed after this, right? Like seeing a bandit on the ground asking for help and a farmer just sticking their pitchfork in them to take them out. It is rather a disorganized group with you, and not all of them are trained soldiers. So this is where you are. The bodies of that Gerbine and Frey are still on the ground where you left them, but all battle seems to have ceased at this point.
Alright, I think we got a jet. It's getting a little intense out here.
Wait, did we kill that second quick Yeah, Rin killed the Gerbine with the boots, right?
Yes.
Can we take her boots?
Sure. You go over.
Definitely take those boots.
And on that thief has a suit of leather armor that's in fairly good repair, though covered in blood and would need to be cleaned off. 3 daggers, if anybody wants, more daggers. And as a pair of boots that certainly seem magical, but you don't quite know what they do yet because none of you have used the spell Identify to figure out what they do.
Can I use Appraising Eye?
Ooh, what does Appraising Eye do? It tells you the worth of something, right?
And any magical... Hold on, I can share it to the thing.
Oh, it does magical... See? They're nice people over there at the Deck of Many. It's like they give you that spell to use without having to use the spell.
Oh, how do I... Sorry, I can't figure out how to share it. It says once... Oh, there it goes. Once per short rest, by spending an action to examine an item, you can determine any magical properties it has, as well as how they might be used or activated, and a fair estimation of its market price.
Yeah, damn. Okay. So its market price, they're pretty valuable. These are boots of speed. The magic in these boots is such that once they are attuned, so it does require attunement, they will reshape themselves to fit the feet of the creature wearing them, including transforming into talon covers for bird folk. So if you put them on and attune, they will just fit. These boots, cool. I gotta look up. I think they used one of the monster manual things, which is why it's not in this book. But I'm pretty sure it doubles your... You can use a bonus action to click your heels and Dorothy your way into battle. And I think it doubles your walking speed and gives anyone that attacks you disadvantage. I'm sorry, not attacks you, but takes attacks of opportunity on you, get disadvantage.
Okay.
And I imagine it lasts for a minute and can be used once per long rest, but let me look that up as you guys tell me what else you want to do.
I'm just going to take those as for the group at large. I'm not
Sure.
going to attune myself if anybody else wants them.
Yeah, it'll take at least a short rest to do that. If you do so, boots double your walking speed. Any capture makes an opportunity attack you, or was it disadvantage? You can end the effect by... Oh, so you can end the effect by clicking your heels together again. But And it can only be used once every long rest, but it doesn't last 1 minute. It actually lasts 10 minutes, which is actually pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
Cool.
that's a really good item. 1 minute would still be good, but 10 minutes of double speed and no attacks, disadvantage attacks of opportunity is pretty sweet.
Sick.
There is also the body of Frey there, lying right next to each other.
Ooh, let's go through her stuff.
If I can walk, I want to spit on her. No, that seems very not clerky.
Just pray and spittle a little.
Yep. Never mind.
Okay. So as you are going through Gray Meridian, also has a fine suit of studded leather armor, which is obviously stolen. Much too nice for her. And you find a brooch.
What type of brooch?
It's a brooch that you're not quite sure what it does because Q has already used her fancy cool skill.
Once we sleep, I can look at it.
Yeah, it's a brooch, and it does, as you look at it, it does seem to have like runes carved into it, but it looks like it's in the shape of a shield.
Ooh. Can I take the brooch and I'm gonna affix it to the front of my hat?
Yeah, absolutely. So you have now this brooch on your hat. And once you spend, a short rest at least attuning to it, you will also just know what it does, or you can get it appraised by Q.
Cool. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I think I might still be a little bit off, though. I think I saw Benson turn into a wolf.
No, that was legit.
Oh.
The squatting was a little weird that he did at the beginning, and is he naked now that he's back in bird form?
Do birds wear clothes?
Come back, Benson. I'm gonna sketch his ears and go, come back, Benson.
Yeah, we come back. Thankfully, while everything did fall, the hat did stay on my head.
Right,
so
right.
As we unshift, we can quickly cover ourselves.
With this big, wide-brimmed straw hat.
Bird genitals.
But no, we'll quickly dress back again. Gotta shake it out a little bit. It's not a comfortable feeling.
That was wild, Benson.
Yeah, you can do that?
No, I had no idea.
Try not to do it too much.
Yeah.
Turned into a bear, and she hibernated. She was gone for months, so we gotta be careful.
That's awful.
Yeah.
As you're doing this, other people are searching the camp. You do see that in one of the tents, they certainly did find some prisoners who were hostages taken from Meadowfen, the town that was taken, that you were, tasked with doing. They found some of the hostages that they were taking. They seem fine, a little malnourished, but otherwise healthy and hale, and very happy to no longer be in the clutches of these bandits.
Yeah. Is that Strega still around?
Who is that? Was that the captain?
That knight that was
The owl man!
Yeah, was smacking everyone until we had a big fight and then just magically disappeared.
The Owl Knight has not made his way into this encampment yet. Yeah, the last you saw, they were out in the battlefield, and you have not seen them make their way. Some people did go to pursue some of the bandits as they were retreating. You imagine that this individual might be with them.
We did our thing. We let the mob draw us. Hua nearly died. Everything's terrible.
I could use a nap.
Can we just go back and
Yeah.
craft?
Here, let's go. I also want to get this fancy ring I found with Freeze.
Oh, wait, what ring?
Don't worry about it.
You have a ring.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. One of the captains of the guard that came with you says, "Oh, we're going to make sure these meadow fenners get back to the Alderheart safely. If the lot of you, we're trying to search these tents, make sure there's nothing useful, no other prisoners in them. Could you all maybe take the north of the camp? We'll get through it quicker. We'll all be able to head back to the city."
I don't know. Our friend's in rough shape.
I hear you. A lot of us have taken some big hits here. Thank you again, Team Awesome. It's great having you with us today. I don't know if we would have been victorious without you.
Probably not.
Darn tootin'.
No.
But yeah, I guess we can explore the northern part.
Most of these seem to be pretty useless, but maybe you find something good there.
If we find something, do we get to keep it?
Oh.
Don't worry about it. I didn't ask anything. We're going.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so as you go into that tent, while everyone else is kind of like looking through it, and you see they're going through like scraps and piles, pulling things out, you go in one of these tents up to the north that has not yet been gone through. And the second you do, your eyes go wide a bit, the lot of you, because you are looking at a fairly large chest sitting over in the corner, which quite certainly has the potential to be holding some lovely things. But regardless of what that chest might hold, the table before you is strewn around with a collection of small gemstones, as well as a variety of gold and silver-plated urns, plates, and utensils. This tent you walk into, it seems, is the mother lode. Pua, can you move the microphone a bit away from your face? Thank you.
All right, well, I think Lynn's just going to start grabbing fistfuls of gemstones and sticking them in her pockets because she can't help it.
Okay.
What tracks?
Maybe like running out of room, sticking a couple in her underpants.
Sorry, you said there's a chest as well?
There is a chest, and as you open it, it is full of gold.
Nice.
So, yeah. Yep, so there's several hundred gold in this chest.
So my gold.
I finally get my forgery kit from Eliza.
So I think we can relieve this chest of its gold.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're gonna, if they look again, they're gonna find just an empty chest.
Leave like 4 in there. Decoy gold.
They're gonna hear us. We're gonna be just clinking around.
Shh.
Benson, stop.
Put it in your pocket, Benson.
I'll put some in.
Just put more in your pocket. More in your pocket.
Let's make it look like Benson has a big belly.
Ah, the old Santa Claus trick.
Yeah.
All right, so we're just pocketing as much gold as possible.
Sure. Yep. You can take all the gold, pocket it, all the coins, all the gold and silver-plated urns, plates, and utensils as well.
Do I have room in my bag?
Yeah, you sure do.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna take all that shit.
All right.
I wish we had a bag of holding.
What's a bag of holding?
It's like unlimited space because it's like another, what's the word? It's like a miniature.
Like a mini
plane.
pocket dimension, kind of like another
it's like
plane
a-
of existence.
Yeah.
Like a Mary.
It's like Hermione's.
It's very much
Harry
like a
Potter.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very much like Hermione's bag, yes.
Oh, how do I get one of those?
We have to find one or buy one.
That's maybe the kind of thing you could commission from Eliza once her shop is more up and running. I love how you guys are like, no, this mechanic built in. I'm not using it. I don't like Cat
Eliza
Lady.
sucks.
Listen, if Eliza got us a bag of holding, I would hate her a lot less.
Hey,
Same.
might be difficult to get magical items, but hey, I'm just you have one person, one go-to that you could definitely check with anyway. All right, are you guys heading back to the Older Heart at this point?
Heck yeah.
All right.
Who needs a goddamn nap?
Yeah, as you
No.
come back, you do see that small owl knight walking in, speaking to a couple of the guards, like pointing back and forth. So he is there now as you're leaving. If you would like to speak with him.
Hey, did you not hear me shouting? I was like, help, help, help.
Help, help, I'm being oppressed.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. Are you speaking to me?
It's okay. You seem like you were real busy out here, so I forgive you.
Oh, were you the ones in the encampment? Oh, I hear you took out the bandit leader, yes?
That was us, Team Awesome.
Yeah.
Team Awesome. Oh, what a name. Oh, yes. I am Riffin. They call me the Ash Knight.
Ooh, that's fancy. Why do they call you that?
You see, I was in Ashbarrow when it burnt down. I was trying to save some of the families there, but I fell. One of my good friends lifted me and carried me all the way to the Older Heart.
Wow. Good
Wait,
thing you're small.
you were in Ashbarrow, and then someone brought you to the Alder Heart. So you presumably told people about what happened in Ashbarrow. We didn't even need to come here. He could have done this.
Yo, what?
He could have done this whole thing.
Oh,
But maybe they needed more to convince.
are you the ones that spoke on behalf of the council, to the council, on behalf of Ashbarrow?
Yep.
Oh,
That was us.
well, thank you very much. I'm sure the people here are very appreciative of it. Certainly I am.
Showing it. Make us battle shit.
They just keep asking us to murder other people. What is this?
Well, it was very nice to meet all of you. I'm glad you were here for the battle. We were victorious. We've done good for the people of the wood, I think, today.
Cool.
It was delightful to meet you, Riffin. I was one of those people who almost died, so I gotta go to sleep.
It looks as if you took a mighty big bite to the neck.
I'm just gonna like nearly headless nick it a little bit and like be like, yeah, look. I'm
Ooh,
like,
let that scab over before you move around too much. Well, perhaps I'll see you around. Team Awesome, it was lovely to meet the lot of you.
Where are you staying, Riffin?
Oh, I'm sure that I'll be going back to the city. I want to make sure that these poor refugees get back safely, the ones that were held captive.
Can we just like exchange information so if we need him later, we know where to find him?
Yes. You can find me at the Wooden Flagon.
That doesn't sound nearly as fun as Volpina's secret, but that's okay.
And it is a little blush to his cheeks when you say that. Oh no, I don't stay anywhere like that. The Wooden Flagon, it's by the Trunk Market. I've been staying there. It's a nice place.
Okay, cool. Maybe we'll see you around.
That sounds great. It was very nice to meet you all.
Bye, Riff.
Goodbye.
It's so small.
I just keep imagining the little thing from the art, and it's so cute.
Yeah. Even like the little sketch they have of him, like not the actual art, but I don't know if you can see it, but this like just super happy looking.
Oh.
So cool. He's my favorite character.
Murder.
So, leaving the traces of battle behind, the remainder of the Perch Guard and militia return to the Alderheart. Honoring their sacrifice, the fallen are transported at the front of the somber parade back to the city. Those who cannot carry themselves are carried on makeshift stretchers, while the injured are helped along the trail home. Despite heavy losses, you and your companions are welcomed back to the Alderheart as heroes. Upon getting back, you hear that there is an emergency meeting of the Birdfolk Council, and you are all summoned to it.
Girl, what?
Thought we'd get to go back and have a nap. Apparently
Yeah,
not.
Pua's literally bleeding
Like-
to the neck.
Right away we have to go?
That is the word that you get.
Ugh.
I feel like we should make them wait as long as we had to wait for them.
Yeah.
Notice my giant gold belly.
Can we go back to Volpina's secret and deposit all our golds?
Brad, hold this.
Yeah, can we like put our contraband gold with Brad?
Is that what you're going to do?
I think that's a smart thing to do. Maybe Brad has some healing potion for Pua.
At least some lemonade, take the edge off.
In the meantime, I'm just gonna like pressure dress my neck wound with like a piece of my vestments. I don't change into that shit anyways.
Yeah, Ben's just gonna try a couple of times to heal, and it's not doing anything. It usually works. It's weird. He's out of spell slots. He doesn't really understand how it works. When they feel better, it's a thing. But not working today.
All right, so you're heading back to Volpina's secret to drop off. You deposit all of the goods upstairs. And Brad is already like half in his suit, but only from the waist up. He hasn't quite put pants on yet. As you walk in, and he's like, "Oh, hey guys, I heard there's a special Birdfolk Council meeting."
Yeah, we just need to drop off our stuff, and then we're heading over there.
Oh, sure. Give me a minute. I'll put some pants on.
That's good.
And he starts doing that. And as you start dropping like all of this gold kind of in the corner of Brad's room, he's like,
Lucas.
oh, what's all that stuff?
Don't worry about it, Brad.
Oh, all right. And as he finishes putting on his pants, you all make your way back up to the top part of the tree. I don't remember what it's called.
Fancy town.
I despise this cat. He is fun. He is funny as hell right now, though. He went into my desk compartment, took a hair elastic, got my pencil stuck between the two pieces of my desk, and is so confused about why it's not falling to the ground. But now he has a hair elastic, so he doesn't care.
Oh, God.
It was just quite the process. Sorry, I digress.
It's okay. Yeah, you are ushered right into the Birdfolk Council chambers, with the two guards standing outside, giving you nods of approval, as opposed to the sneers that you had gotten previously. As you walk in, Brad in tow, the council is there, spread out before you, with Speaker Beta the center of it, as she lifts her regal head and says, "Thank you all. I hear that the battle against the bandits has been victorious. This is absolutely a wonderful day for the Alderheart and for all of the Humblewood."
So what's this meeting about?
We are here to officially thank you.
Okay.
That was an emergency?
Uh,
Dude, I'm like half dead. And you
Oh.
called me here to thank me?
Certainly, we want you and your wounds to be taken care of. We also were planning on rewarding you for all of your hard work. However, it seems as if the stolen hoard the uh, from the bandits have not been found. Do you know anything about that? Have you seen where their treasure went?
Nope.
I
I
spent
saw
most
some
of
of them like stuffing things in their pockets before they ran away.
In their pockets? Oh, it seemed like they had more than that. I need someone to roll a deception check, and I will give you advantage. Either two people can roll or one person can roll at advantage. It is up to you.
I should.
I have a high modifier.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do it.
Yeah, Q being the grifter makes sense.
16.
16. It is a good thing that you rolled at advantage because the DC was a 15. At that, they all kind of nod and said, we will need to conduct an inquiry in the coming days to see this. I'm sorry to say that we won't be able to give you any monetary compensation for this then, but please, you have our sincerest, most utmost thanks. Team Awesome are truly friends of the Alderheart and the Birdfolk Council.
Do you
So,
have any healing potions for me?
yeah, heal Pua, please.
Where is it that you are all staying? I can have a healer sent over to you. And the rest of the Birdfolk Council is like, definitely like nodding, like, yes, we'll definitely do that.
We'll find our own healer. We know a guy. I just figured if you had some healing potion on you right now, that would be awesome. But we'll go back. We'll get a healer. What I would really love to discuss is what, now that the bandit threat is gone, how are you going to provide for all of the refugees? What's your plan?
So they all kind of look at each other and say, we will of course be speaking about that in the coming days. But
Well,
while this was a great victory, the bandit coalition has not been entirely defeated. This was certainly a major blow to them, but these bandits, for all our understanding, are very organized, large groups spread out throughout the wood. This was the encampment certainly closest to the Alderheart and has helped make all of us safe. But their true leader is still out there.
well, we gotta go. This is highly disappointing.
Hey, Birdfolk Council. That was unsettling. In lieu of a monetary gift, I have a possible request of you.
What do you
for
request?
Helping. I request that Brad be instated on the Birdfolk Council.
What do you mean it? Just the council.
So a hush falls over.
The Alder Council.
And they say,
Yeah.
The Alder... Well, the
You're
Birdfolk
not very
Council is...
inclusive.
We are chosen by the people. There is not an election coming
We're people,
up.
we choose Brad.
Yeah.
Oh,
You can't. It's just called the Birdfolk Council. That right there is biased nomenclature.
Wow, Rin.
Perhaps...
You're really smart.
Really not.
Perhaps it is time. In days past, the humble folk tended to live on the floor of the forest, while the bird folks made their home at the tops of the trees. These days, things are changing rather quickly. We will discuss this, certainly, about possibly having an elected official added onto the council. And Brad right now is like puffing out his chest so much it looks like he might fall over backwards.
Okay, so if we can't get Brad on the council, can we at least make sure Brad is on the ballot, and then we can drum up support for him?
Team Awesome, we appreciate the wisdom you bring us. We will certainly take this under advisement in the coming days. Now, with the bandits pushed back, we may have more time to discuss the better governing of the Older Heart.
All right, we'll definitely be checking back in, Bird Lady.
Yes.
Team Awesome is out.
Speaker beat up. Okay, thank you. And with that, you guys go. I think Brad has the biggest, widest grin you've ever seen on a Mopok face in your life. And he's so happy in this. Like, you have to like grab him by the arms and like lead him out of here because he so doesn't want to leave. But he kind of goes willingly. As you walk back out, still in the wee hours of the morning, back onto the Birdflow Plaza, we will go ahead and pick it up right here next time. And keep in mind, my friends, that next time we play, you will all be level 3.
Yay!
Can I make a request for not next week, but the week after that? Can we dress up like our characters because it's Halloween week?
I don't have a cloak.
Just use like toilet paper or clothes.
I am into this. I get to dress up like a dungeon master, so I think I need like a very revealing leather vest and maybe a ball gag.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You can dress up like Eliza pretty easily.
Yeah.
A lot of cat
It'll
things.
be like, make the shittiest costume you can from household object.
I like this. Yeah, okay. So in a couple weeks, we have 1 week to decide on our level 3 stuff, which is really cool. Level 3 is where you tend to get a lot of things in D&D. And you pick a lot of cool stuff at level 3, generally, for most classes. And then we have 2 weeks to come up with the best, shittiest possible D&D themed Halloween costumes.
Alyssa, I think you should just tape all of the stuff from your kitchen onto your shirt.
Oh my god.
My knives, just a knife shirt. It's my stabby coat.
It's your stabby coat.
All right, with that, everyone, thank you for watching tonight. We
Do
really
you want
appreciate
us to roll
it.
hit dice on our own? Is that?
You can roll them now if you want.
Well, because I was going to charactermancer it, and if I do that,
You have to do the
then
whole level up
I
thing.
have to do the whole thing, and I
You
want to
can-
look a little bit.
Yeah, you can roll hit dice on your own. That's fine.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye.